Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera kepada semua. Very good morning to all. I hope everybody is doing fine. My name is Azizi, the Deputy Director for Innovation and Commercialization Center, UTHM. And welcome to the Tech Planter in Malaysia 2022 information session. So we are very happy today to have the representative of Livernes Malaysia, Senior Berhad. So with us today we have Dr. Suzianti Iskandar Wijaya of the R&D division of Livernes Malaysia, and we also have Dr. Arif Zamani, who is the Education Department Division, Livernes Malaysia. And we will have another guest who will be joining us today, which is Mr. Darwin Reza, who is the CEO of My Conceptual Robotics Sdn Bhd Micro, who is the runner-up winner of Tech Planter Malaysia in year 2015. So the purpose of this, our talk for today is to highlight the initiative of Livernes Malaysia Sdn Bhd, which is their program called the Tech Planter Malaysia 2022. So we are very happy to have welcome Dr. Suzy and Dr. Arif. Thank you for coming, and with us today I forwarded the invitation to all of the staff of UTHM. So we have quite a number already of academic staff and support staff and the students as well joining us today, who are very excited as well, and myself, who are very enthused and excited and very happy and looking forward to hear what this program is all about, the Tech Planter in Malaysia, and hopefully how we can actually participate and benefit for the mutual benefit of Livernes as well as the implementation of technology, I understand, in Malaysia and globally. So I would like to, so the agenda for today is, I will start with a little bit of biodata of Dr. Suzy and Dr. Arif, and then I will hand over to Dr. Suzy for her part of the presentation to introduce the Livernes company, as well as sharing about the Tech Planter program, and some sharing about the Tech Planter in the year 2022, which is this year. And I understand that there are deadlines coming soon. And in the last part of the session, we will be having a sharing by the Tech Planter alumni, Mr. Darwin Reza, who will be joining us shortly, inshallah, to share his experiences and journey with Tech Planter. So before I pass over to Dr. Suzy, so allow me to a little bit to introduce the audience to Dr. Suzy. Dr. Suzy is the R&D division of Livernes Malaysia Sdn Bhd. She is the project leader for the Tech Planter program in Malaysia. She obtained the Bachelor of Applied Science in Agrobiology from USM, a Monbukagaku scholar, sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. So it's a scholar of the Max Ministry in Japan, graduated from Nara Institute of Technology, specializing in biological science in 2018. She was a plant pathologist with Mardi at the Paddy Research Center in Penang. Since then, she joined Livernes Malaysia, and in line with the philosophy of Livernes to bridge the gap between academia and industry. Welcome, Dr. Suzy.
Thank you, Dr. Aziz, for the kind introduction.
Okay, thank you. And I will state a little bit of bio of Dr. Arif. Dr. Arif obtained PhD in system biology from UKM. He is experienced in international collaboration, where he collaborated with Samdabi Technology Center and Brandenburg University of Technology in Germany to develop new fermentation system. He is passionate to assist scientists, especially young and junior scientists, in publicizing the importance of their work to the public. Welcome, Dr. Arif.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azizi, for
the thank you. Thank you, Dr. Arif. Thank you, Dr. Suzy. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Suzy to talk a little bit about Livernes and to continue with the agenda and sharing about the Tech Planter program. With all, please, Dr. Suzy.
So for me, I will pass to Dr. Arif for the Livernes introduction. So over to you, Dr. Arif.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azizi and also Dr. Suzy. So let me share screen from my end. Yeah. Dr. Azizi, is it okay if you would like to request to share screen from my end?
Yes, I think you can do it now, Dr. Arif, please.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Azizi. Yeah. My screen visible at your end, Dr. Azizi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So first, I would like to thank you to Dr. Azizi and also for the arrangement for us to share on this tech planter program, the opportunity. So my name is Arif, as been introduced by Dr. Azizi. Here I would like to share with you, introduce to you about Livernes, in which I believe perhaps most of audience perhaps not familiar with Livernes. So Livernes is a group of professionals from different background, either life science, engineering, agriculture, even education, psychology. But we all have the same mission, which is advancing science and technology for global happiness. And for that, through this vision, we actually not manufacturing any goods or product, but we rather synthesize a useful knowledge or solution to solve global challenge. And here, ladies and gentlemen, here I would like to share with you how Livernes started. So in Japan, 20 years before, they faced these three main issues. The first one is the lack of interest in science among children. Second, employment problem for especially for PhD graduates, in which they could not or hard to find position either in academia nor in the big corporates. And the third one is academia is producing a lot of useful knowledge and technology, however not much being capitalized either by industry nor society. And for that, Livernes, in order to address this issue, which we believe they already faces by other countries as well, including in Malaysia, Livernes train themselves to be science bridge communicator. So we work by identifying gap, for example, between researcher and society, and try to bridge the knowledge and experience between them, and this could be done through communication. Hence, this will create new business frontier and as well as provide solution to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, to date, Livernes is the leading science venture company in Japan with HQ in Tokyo and Osaka. Livernes have subsidiaries in Southeast Asia, including Malaysia, Singapore, as well as Philippines. Also, Livernes has an office in UK as well as in US. Our members, ladies and gentlemen, is around 100 people, which most of them have experienced postgraduate research scheme, and in which half of them is PhD holder. Within Livernes Group, we have entities of companies including like super factory, venture capital, startup, as well as research lab. In overview, Livernes work in creating an ecosystem for science and technology development from the beginning in the education sector for children, schools, until nurturing young researcher which could contribute back to the society, as well as R&D, technology acceleration, and the last one, the implementation of technology by the society. For that, we have four major pillars or division, starting from education, which we nurture young generation towards times, how to for them to know or to have eager in learning about science. On the human resource development, which to nurture our future talent that could contribute to the society. On the R&D, which not only limited in doing research, as well as the focus is to connect between researcher, industry, as well as society. And the last one is a frontier, in which we aim to provide support to not only to startup but also researcher in order for them to expand their technology, or perhaps to fostering their knowledge, or perhaps to accelerate their technology development. To date, we have partners in Japan with more than 300 companies which always supported each of our projects. Besides, we also have worked closely with local partners in Southeast Asia throughout our project. Ladies and gentlemen, just to share with you that we have created almost more than 200 unit project per year, and this project is initiated by each individual patient of our members within Liveness. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is how we could come up with new innovation and new unique project each year. So just to share with you, we use this Qpmi cycle, which I believe most of us researchers already familiar with this concept or these cycles. So it started with a quality equation in which we try to identify the most critical problem, or we call it deep issue letter. In order to solve this question or to address this deep issue, we need to have strong passion to ensure our commitment in addressing the question. For that, we could not do this alone. Hence, we need to find members or partner that have this mutual passion to chase the mission. And lastly, with this, we could bring out our ideas or innovation towards society, which could contribute in solving this question that we first would like to address. And ladies and gentlemen, we believe that most of researcher or innovator or technology already have this question they would like to address, but also patient in working on it. But some of them, we do aware facing challenge in finding partners or members to support or to support their journey, or to be with them to illustrate their technology development or to upskill their works. For that, here we would like to share with you about Tech Planter program, in which I would like to invite Dr. Suzy to share about Tech Planter, a platform for you to share your question or your passion, in order perhaps you could find partners or member to support your mission. So that I would like to invite Dr. Suzy on the Tech Planter program.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Arif.
Maybe I stop sharing. Yeah.
Maybe you can just leave it there, so maybe you can help me to.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Navigate the slides. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah. So for my part, I would like to introduce about Tech Planter. So next slide.
Yeah.
So just to share a bit about myself, I am currently in the R&D division at Liveness Malaysia, and also the project leader for this year's Tech Planter in Malaysia. So my research focus on genetics, molecular characterization of microbes, as well as plant disease diagnostics and disease management. So prior to joining Liveness, I worked as a researcher for a few years at Mardi. And from there, I developed a deep interest in agriculture R&D, especially in agrigenomics and smart agriculture. And throughout the years, having to work closely with the stakeholders, I found that technology adoption in our agriculture sector is quite slow and still slow now. It hits me that I need to do something about it. How to bridge those technology that we have in the research institutes, in the university, into the sector. So when I joined Liveness, I believe that this is the right platform for me to help solve the issues I encountered in order towards advancing technology in our agriculture sector. And together we'll move towards achieving global happiness through advancing science and technology. So I think that's quite enough about me. So let's move on to Tech Planter. So before I explain further in details about Tech Planter, here's a short introduction video about this program. So please enjoy. So tech planter, our main topic for today. So what does tech planter means to Lebanese? So to share a little bit with all of you today, tech planter started in Japan in 2014 as a real tech seed acceleration program, creating an ecosystem to grow seeds of technology from startups and also universities. It develops into a platform to implement and bring science and technology into the society. And starting from 2019, we advanced further by exploring deep tech and solving deep issues in our society. Next. So the challenge we face today is how we can implement and utilize these technologies to solve the societal issues and problems. And for deep tech, it doesn't have to be high tech. It can also be a simple technology, easy to use technology, but can solve the issues effectively. Next. And for us, deep tech is the technology that can bring out the greatest impact and value to our society. We do understand that deep tech needs a lot of time to commercialize and it needs solid R&D base. And I just wanted to highlight this because as a company, we have the know-how and we have members with PhDs and master's degree, and we have experience with doing research. And we understand the concerns from researcher point of view, and we feel that we can be beneficial and we can provide support to all of you. We also understand that deep tech requires quite significant amount of investments in terms of time and money. And for us, we're not only looking for IP, but we want to know about your passion and story behind your technology. Throughout the years, we find the most passionate founders and driven people within this deep tech area. So this matches the view, the vision and mission that we have in our company. Next. Okay, from our engagement with researchers and startups, we realized there are three common issues faced by them. So the first one, seed funding. You need seed funding to continue research investments for commercialization of their products. And for researchers, some of them wanted to stay in the research part, still wanted to do the research. They want to continue doing research and therefore they need to find the correct business partner that can help to commercialize their research and products. And for R&D-based technology, prototyping is one of the main death valley that need to be overcome in order to proceed to the next stage of commercialization. And to solve all these issues, this is where tech planter ecosystem comes in. Next. Okay. So in tech planter ecosystem, we bring different kind of partners that can help the researchers and startups to implement the solutions and solve global problems and issues. We have industry partners that have the financial and business know-how. On the other hand, we also bring special makers community from Japan that we call as super factory that could help researchers and startups to realize their prototyping and manufacturing. And last but not least, we also work with local governments, incubators, and universities to further support and develop the development of those technologies. Next. So Tech Planter is one of the biggest deep tech ecosystem in Southeast Asia. So we are developing this ecosystem for quite a while now in Southeast Asia, as you can see here. And for Malaysia, we organized Tech Planter since 2015. And we already have 948 teams in our ecosystem. And I would like to invite you to become part of our ecosystem by joining this year's Tech Planter in Malaysia. So what are the characteristics of Tech Planter participant that we are looking for? So first of all, researchers or startup that focuses on real tech. So real tech is the technology that have a hardware development, a physical product. So if you are developing a software system, it should come with a device, for example, sensors. So your technology can also be in various fields from agri-tech, medtech, food tech, marine, environment, and many other types of technology. Second, we accept teams from any stages, starting from ideation, conceptualization, until startup Series A or Series B. And third one, perhaps the most important for us, we would like to have teams that have great passion towards technology and people who wants to commercialize their solution to the world. So next. So when you join Tech Planter, we support you based on your stages and your needs accordingly. So if you are researchers, we have a platform like HIC, the Hyper Interdisciplinary Conference, to bridge you with potential industry partners and also possible grant to further develop your project. And if you need support on prototyping or investment, we can connect you with our funding and manufacturing partners as well. So we can also support in terms of patent strategy as well. So next. Okay. So from our experience of conducting Tech Planter, we found that some of the biotech and medtech startups having difficulties to proceed with their experiments and sample analysis, where they usually send their sample to outside lab or outsourcing services. Therefore, in 2019, we established Nest Bio Venture Lab as the first lab startup incubator in Malaysia for biotech, medtech, and even food tech startups who need workspace, lab facilities, and also high-tech equipment. So they are also able to initiate collaborations with our partners as well. So next. And besides that, if you would like to expand your business in Japan, you can use our Center of Garage to connect with our partners in Japan. The Center of Garage is one of the largest real tech incubation center in Japan, where you can use it as your landing point, and we could help you to connect with our partners to expand your business in Japan. So next. Okay. So finally, this is the part which most people are waiting for, investments and funding. So through Tech Planter, you could explore the possibilities to get investment from our funding partners, not only from Malaysia, but also from Singapore and Japan. We have Lebanese Capital, Real Tech Holdings, and also Glocalink from Singapore. Okay, next. So let me share further information about our Tech Planter in Malaysia. So throughout the years, since 2015, there are already 217 teams applied for Tech Planter in Malaysia. So this year, we hope to expand our ecosystem further. Okay, next. So these are our past winners. So you can see here from those applied, we have winners from different universities, backgrounds, and also different fields of technology. So maybe you can be the next winner from UTHM. So next. Okay, so to share a bit about Tech Planter in Malaysia 2021 last year, we could bring different kind of local and Japanese partners, as you can see from these logos here. So just to share with all of you, as I mentioned previously, to solve an issue, it doesn't have to be high-tech or complicated technology. So for our last year's grand winner, Carbotech, they came up with Harvest, which is a photosynthesis enhancer that you can easily apply on your plants. So their product solves the issues of photosynthesis inefficiency by enhancing 30 to 100% photosynthesis efficiency. So their product solves the issues effectively. And they also went on to win the Tech Planter Asia Finals 2021. So next. Okay, so to share a bit of success stories from our Tech Planter in Malaysia activities. So first, we would like to share cases of research acceleration and commercialization, where two of our researchers team were able to incorporate their company and getting support from our local government partners. We also supporting them to initiate the collaboration with local and Japanese partners as well. Next. Okay, so we also have the case of business startup. For this case is micro, so we have Mr. Darwin here. So just to share a bit about micro, so they are our alumni from 2015, where during that year, Mr. Darwin participated in the Tech Planter only with his final year project. So during the demo day, he was able to share his passion towards 3D printing manufacturing and got the runner-up winner during that time. And after the program, Liveness supported them to visit the super factory manufacturer in Japan. And from there, they get the inspiration to start their own company in 2016 and became pioneer of 3D printer producer in Malaysia. So now one of their 3D printer is placed at our center of garage in Japan. So not limited to 3D printers, they are also expanding to explore other kinds of engineering R&D. So Liveness also provides seed funding to accelerate their business further. And now we are working closely to bring more engineering education to Malaysian students. So later, Mr. Darwin, CEO of Micro, will share more about his exciting journey and experience with Tech Planter and Liveness. So stay tuned. So next. So this is the case of prototyping, which was received by ASET Innovates from UPM, which was the grand winner of Tech Planter in Malaysia 2017. So as a startup company from university, they were having difficulties to upscale their production where they were using universities' facilities to produce their product previously. To support them, we bring them to join our Ota City Super Factory prototyping program and was successfully selected as one of the 3 recipients from ASEAN countries. So they received around 50,000 USD to create a centralized and automatic enzyme manufacturing machine with IOTA, one of the Japanese super factories from Ota City. So this machine has largely helped them to solve their enzyme production issues. And later, they also receive investment from us to further accelerate the business. So next. And lastly, we would like to share the success stories on our alumni securing funding and collaboration with our partners. So we have iRadar, the grand winner from 2020 that is now in the final stage in securing the big funding from Realtek Holding. And we also currently supporting them on project collaboration with local drone company and discussion with Japanese companies as well. And for Carbotech, our last year's grand winner, their progress is quite impressive, where they already secured seed funding from locally in Singapore, as well as in discussion with some of our Japanese companies that are interested in working with them as well. So from all these success stories, we could see that depending on your stages and needs, you could receive different kind of support through our Tech Planter ecosystem. So next. So I would like to share the flow for this year's Tech Planter. So first, you will be participating in the country round, which is Tech Planter in Malaysia. So during demo day, you will share about your question and passion, as well as information about your technology as well. Share about your technology to our judges, and they will evaluate and give feedback to you. And 2 winners from 6 ASEAN countries. We will also have winners from the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, and Vietnam. So all of these winners will then compete at the Tech Planter Asia Finals that will be conducted in August. So the winners will have opportunity to link with more Japanese partners and potential investors during the Asia Finals. Next. So to go more details on the process of this year's Tech Planter, the registration deadline for Tech Planter in Malaysia will be on the 20th May 2022. So please register early so we could help you to make your application better and to avoid any issues during the last minutes. Then we will have the interview sessions with the applicants to understand more about your question and passion as well as your technology. After the interview session, we will have an internal screening process with our partners to sort out our finalists. Then we will have mentoring sessions with the finalists to brush up the presentation according to our partners' requirements. And last but not least, we will have final pitching during the Tech Plan Demo Day, where you'll be pitching to our local and international judges and partners. So the demo day this year will be on the 16th July 2022. So don't waste your time and register now using the link provided here. We will also share in the chat box. So I'm looking forward to meet you in this year's Tech Planter in Malaysia. So next. So let me just summarize the merits if you join the Tech Planter program. First one, of course, the award money for country round and also regional round winners. And the collaboration opportunity with local and Japanese corporations. And you have the chance to pitch your ideas to top management of multinational corporations and to obtain potential investment from Japan and Singapore venture capitals, and the opportunity to receive prototyping support from our super factory partners. And lastly, the potential to expand your business and technology into Japan market and other regional countries. So next. So I would like to welcome all enthusiastic and passionate researchers and startups to register for Tech Planter in Malaysia 2022. So everyone, let's bring your passion into reality. You can register using the link or QR code here, and we'll also share in the chat box. So again, if you register early, we can help and guide you with your registration as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us during the Q&A session later. So yeah, I think that's all from me. And thank you so much for your attention. So over to you, Dr. Arif.
Thank you very much, Dr. Z, for sharing the info on the Tech Planter program. Yes, as been mentioned by Dr. Suzy, we are looking forward to have a participation or more participation from UTHM to join our ecosystem in this Tech Planter Malaysia. Yeah. So maybe I straight away invite the our invited guest, Mr. Darwin, Dr. Azizi. Or
yes, welcome, Mr. Darwin. Please, by all means, please proceed, Dr. Arif.
yeah. So here we'd like to invite Mr. Darwin. Mr. Darwin, are you ready?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Darwin. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum semua. Dr. Z, it's been a while meeting you.
Assalamualaikum. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, sihat?
Alhamdulillah.
So Dr. Aziz basically is my lecturer way back while I was in UM lah, during my first year and second year, teaching me dynamics. So it's a bit happy to see him again in UTHM. I know that he moved to UTHM, I think 2 years ago, right, Doctor?
Yeah, about that time.
About that
I'm happy to see you too, Darwin. Okay.
Alright. So Assalamualaikum semua. Thank you so much, Lifanes, for inviting me to give some sharing. Right. So I joined Tech Planter in 2015. I think that time I was in my final year. Right. So we did have this laser. I think we are doing SLS, laser sintering, using a laser cutter, and we do a customized powder bed to do rapid prototyping that time. So we joined the program without actually knowing where it can lead us to be honest. It's just purely an idea, and mostly the one that joined is is either PhD student or actually master student, right? And gladly that we actually managed to get a runner-up during 2015. Maybe perhaps I share a bit slide, right? Okay. Let me share. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Erwin. Yep.
Okay.
电量不足，请充电。
Okay, so from there, I formed a company named My Construction Robotics, where we early days we are actually targeting more towards a robotic solution, right? Then as we move and as we go to Japan and understanding like how Japan started and stuff like that, we actually pivoted a bit our business into prototyping the national's innovation and also to push it to level of commercialization, right? So we actually currently head office in Bangi Business Park, all right? So our focus is quite easy, engineering consultation and services, all right? So we do from concept to completion, all right? Sometimes we do retrofit associated with cost saving as well. So means that customization, all right? And also we do training in terms of equipment, right? So this is me. I had a bachelor degree in CAD/CAM in UM, right? Then with me also my partner Basril, currently doing his master in science, specialized in manufacturing process in UM as well, right? I guess Dr. Azizi know both of us, right? Then of course we have used from UITM art and design, all right? More towards industrial design, so to actually provide better services to our client, right? So we joined Tech Planter in 2015. I get an email, all right, stated that we have this competition from Japan. Why not come and join? So that time I just simply wrote, because I think the requirement for Tech Planter is very easy. All you need is actually your titles, what's your program or your innovation is all about, right? Then you submit it over. Then they have like an interview session. And the interview session is actually quite fun because they will actually ask you, why are the reason you are doing this research, right? So compared to others competition, right? Tech Planter are pretty much more towards like, okay,
电量不足，
why are you
请
doing
充
this?
电。
Is it for the sake of I just want to get a master or get a PhD? It's not about that. In Live a Nest, all right, in Tech Planter, it's about your end goal of doing that particular research, right? That what makes the whole conversation and interview session was fun, right? They actually bring out your passion why you are doing this research, right? So from there, they will evaluate whether you are into it or you are just doing for the sake of getting a master and PhD. And these are the part that we show our interest, that why we are into 3D printing, why we are into additive manufacturing that time, and we're able to convince the judges like, okay, Malaysia really need this kind of technology, and we really wanted to be the pioneer of this particular tech in 2015, of course. And now, of course, you have China market coming in, and additive manufacturing is actually everywhere, right? So on 2016, we actually getting funded by UM, all right, to go to Japan for Hyper Interdisciplinary Conference, HIC, where we visited some of the super factory, right? And also we visit almost we get interaction between others participants from other international participants as well. For example, India, we have participants from Singapore, right? Thailand. So at the same time, we're able to connect and click, and we do have like all this kind of communication. And through that, we're able to even extend our business to other countries as well. So that's the beauty of Tech Planter. And becoming an alumni of Tech Planter, even though you didn't won the competition, all right, you will still be invited and actually being shared out all the funding, whether it's actually from Live a Nest itself or from any other opportunity that they see fit to the project that you have, right? So these are the beauty of Tech Planter. You doesn't just stop by just joining it, right? So from there, you become the alumni. Then from the alumni, you get a lot of benefit out of it, So even though we are actually just a runner-up, but we get invited to the HIC, and it doesn't stop there. We even go to the HIC on 2017 as well, and HIC on 2019 before the MCO, right? So throughout the process, we're able to see that, okay, what are the new things that Japanese is working on? Then we're able to see that Japan is really into assisting Southeast Asia, right? Into building up community and building up ecosystem, right? So it make the community, the alumni into it, like more into joining it, and actually even promote it to our friends and others, So these are the beauty of Tech Planter, and I wish that everyone from UTHM, if you have any ideas, have any innovation that you have in hand, do join this particular Tech Planter, because it doesn't really consume a lot of time, and it's actually a fun journey. For me, it's a fun journey compared to any other grants that is actually over outside, where you need to pitch, it's very stressful. But these are actually kind of fun kind of program, where you linger around, you meet other person, you share your ideas, and never knows, if let's say the judge like it, you get the opportunity to win the competition, and you can actually travel quite a lot of country just by being a part of Tech Planter, right? Especially when they have program in overseas, sometimes they will invite as well. Then you can actually share your experience and things like that, right? So that's what we get from Tech Planter, and actually from there, it drives us to become the pioneer and technology creator, right? So we know Malaysia are all about importing technology, right? So we don't have much technology creation here, even though we see university have a lot of research, but it was never pushed in to commercialize, right? But going through a Tech Planter, let me understand this, like we have local talent, we have so much talent in Malaysia that we are not able to bring up, maybe due to policy and stuff, right? So this is where the company changed, that we wanted to be the gap between the university and also the industry to actually push any research to commercial level, right? Okay. So these are our value of the company, all right? We go through creativity, sustainability, and invention. Just like just now, I think Arif mentioned about Qpmi, right? Right after I learned about this, I think, and also the CEO of Live came out with a book, talk about Qpmi, right? I really bring this up every time I meet my client, especially when they want to build some products, when they have some product need to be delivered, I always talk to them about Qpmi. So this becomes something that people start to understand, the beauty of analogy of Qpmi behind it, So when we do a product, it's about what the quality that we try, what the value that we try to bring out, right? Do we have the passion towards the product, or we just think that, for the sake of something that we do it, or is it really come from us that we want to solve a particular problem, right? So from there, we learned through it, and we actually incorporated the whole Qpmi into our company as well, right? So from there, we expand from starting with just 3D printing. Now we go to laser cut, machine supply, education as well. And because of going to Japan, you're able to see how a small company, right, like Lee Finesse, then they grow into such a big company on doing so many things, right? And all of that is actually related to research. And to be honest, I'm so interested in research. Means like doing all this engineering research, That's why we come up with FMB. Of course, in Malaysia, people will question us. You guys are an engineering company. Why do FMB, right? But the beauty of in FMB, there is an engineering element, right? There is an engineering element that people don't actually notice. But in Japan, people see that, there are engineering element in all aspects of life, right? And that's the beauty of it. So yeah, from there we learn, right? Then we grow. Of course, we started with our mini robotic vehicle. It's also a project under PDRM, right? We do get a grant from Malaysian government, but at the same time, we do get support from Japan as well in terms of super factory for us to give us advice in terms of what kind system that we need to have, what it will be the best way to manufacture, right? So from there we learn, right? So of course, there are more product that we do along the way since 2015 and since we started the company, right? And of course, 3D printing is always in our mind, and we wanted to do 3D printing as an educational tool, right? So of course, throughout we assisted quite a lot of university as well, UCAM, UTM, all right? Even we do U-Mobiles as well, corporate partners. Because of Live a Nest, we even extended our service to Brunei, all right? So these are part of the network that you will get just by joining a competition that you looks like nothing, but the impact that give you, right? The impact that give you, the network that it give you is huge, right? So that's the beauty of joining this, even though you don't win the competition. But I'll be frank with you, they will always send you email, contact you that, hey, we have this program in this area of the world. Do you guys want to join? This is something that we guys can connect you with this industrial that might need your solution, even though you didn't win, that you can actually connect with the people there and actually extend your services, right? So, yep. So we do 3D printing. Of course, we have medical device as well. This is with AMP Center, right? So we do design, studies with university, right? I think this particular project, Dr. Azizi is well known as well, right? Then of course, with biomedicals, all right, we do all these fabrication. So right after we understand that, okay, Japan provide this in order to encourage local innovation, then we see that we have this particular skill set and knowledge, getting it from our lecturer, then we see that, hey, we might able to provide the same thing that Japan provide to encourage their innovation. We can do it in Malaysia as well. All right. So we started to push innovation further. All right. So from just a basic prototype, then we push it to a more proper. We have even illustration work, to ease our client to get grant and funding. All right. So of course we jump into crazy research idea. Right. So for example, haptic augmented reality shooting games, Then now we are actually working on soft robotics, right? To do some therapeutic kind of research, right? So from there, we really go and find out client that, to be honest, in Malaysia, a lot of people want to have their own R&D
力量
center,
不足，请充
right?
电
To。even have their own product. But the problem comes in where they don't know where to find, or there's no channel to assist them. And university have a lot of research that, to be honest, can actually help the industry, right? But these two somehow it's a bit disconnected, and we see there's opportunity in it, and looking at how Japan built up, all right, their innovation. So we're actually now becoming a gap between industry and university to bring university R&D to commercial level by joining them with industry as well, right? So, yeah. So at the same time, we have a bit of a concept store, which is actually a cafe, right? So anyone that have some idea to do some fabrication works, all right, can come over to our place, all right? Meanwhile, waiting for your idea to discuss your idea and stuff like that, we actually behind it, we have a fabrication lab. We have the 3D printing, laser cut, soldering, all the electronic stuff so that you can
电量不
fabricate
足
your，ideas
请充电。
or actually discuss what you're going to do. Then we will help out while enjoying a cup of coffee, right? So it doesn't stop there. We even have business coaching as well, right? So we have business coach from InScan, from all the other industry to actually come and assist to any entrepreneur to be, right? So for example, some lecturer like, okay, I want to do this business, but I have no idea where to start. Okay, you can come over, all right? We have business coaches to actually guide you, right? Where can you start? Whether you're gonna just royalties your product, innovation, or you're gonna do licensing, So these are the part where we actually assist new budding entrepreneur or even lecturer or university to actually explore, all right? And if we see there's a good idea, we actually will push back it to Live and say that, hey, you know what? We have this very good idea. Do you have any competition that they can join and actually validate their idea? So need to understand that Tech Planter is about validation your idea as well, right? So some people say like, I just have idea. I don't have really a real product. No worry, just join, all right? Just to validate your idea. That's why I say Tech Planter is a fun session rather than it's very stressful session. People will ask you like, oh, it's just about idea. Where's your real product? No, where are you going to go from here? No. It's just purely a fun session where you can go and just validate, right? Then they will question you, things like that, but it's a fun session for me, right? Yeah. So yeah, with Live and we do quite a lot of educational activity and products, all right? So this more towards, I think just the past 2 weeks, we do a 3D printed drones, right? With 20 school in Malaysia to teach them about robotics, drones, 3D printing. Because when I joined hyperdisciplinary conference, right? It's not about just one particular, like if you are in mechanical, you are in mechanical, right? So education about combining all this and you create something out of it, right? So then only people will appreciate
电量不
engineering,
足
right?
请
So for
充
me,
电。
all this while people feel that, oh, engineering is very hard, very tough. Physics is very, you need to have very good imagination. But if we can combine things here and there, you can create very nice element of learning, right? And that will interest our youngster to actually get into stream even more, right? So yeah, so we do have we bring our printer to Japan, all right? So we run some program with some of the Japanese school students as well. It was very fun. Thanks to Live to actually allow us to have this opportunity, right? So yeah, that's a bit about us, all right? So thanks to Live so we expand to quite like Vietnam, Philippines, to do some workshop and class, all right? So yeah, so before I end, I just want to invite everyone from UTHN to actually join Tech Planter. Don't worry if you guys just have basic idea, join in, get validate, then maybe from there you actually make you to be more interested to
电
further
量不
out your
足
research.
请充
Right?
电。
Okay, that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Darwin, for sharing your experience and your journey. I think for me it's quite fascinating. I think I enjoy a lot hearing your sharing session. And yeah, let me share again my screen. My screen visible at your end? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Now we are coming to the Q&A session. So after hearing all the information that been shared by speaker, also being shared by Mr. Darwin, so perhaps if any question or any curiosity from respective researcher from UTHM, especially on the tap planter program, or any doubt or perhaps any technical issue that perhaps you're not clear, so we are more than happy to welcome any question on it. Yeah. Or maybe any question on the Mr. Darwin also. Okay, to ask Mr. Darwin perhaps on his experience. Maybe Mr. Darwin maybe can share call it perhaps some info on the maybe his experience in going to visiting other countries has been shared by him just now. Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Arif, if I can summarize a little
Yeah.
bit. I think a very interesting presentation by Dr. Suzy, Dr. Arif, as well as Darwin. We really open up our eyes. Actually, from Dr. Suzy's presentation, we can see the whole goal of Live a Nest group embodied in the slogan "Science Bridge Communicator" lah. So I think that is the summary that I got from Suzy's presentation. And from Dr. Arif's presentation, some of the points that are interesting is that the item or the product or the solution is not necessarily high-tech, but actually any level of technology, even if you see that it's a rudimentary technology, as long as it solves a particular issue. So that is a very good thing to hear lah. Where we are actually focusing on the real issues instead of very glorified or some issue that are not applicable but imagine to be so. So and I see from the presentation that the tech planter is a whole ecosystem. So I had actually posed this question before the start of the session. How to classify this tech planter program? Is it an incubator? Is it an accelerator? Is it an angel investing kind of program? So actually, it's a whole ecosystem. It is starting from the ideation stage through development, as well as up to Series A and Series B. So that is a good thing to hear about the tech planter ecosystem. And I see that from Dr. Arif's presentation on the point of passion lah. So I think you mentioned and Dr. Suzy mentioned about the process, the selection process, where you will have some sort of pitching kind of session and also the interview session where they want to see the passion of the participant and researcher. So I think that is it suits those who really believes in their product and their solution. So that is a very big criteria lah for the selection criteria for this particular program. And for the tech planter program, as a summary, is it correct if I say that it is particularly for seed funding, for business partnership, as well as prototyping and manufacturing? Those are the kind of the kind of services ataupun the kind of activities that are available in the tech planter program. Finally, from Mr. Darwin's presentation, what he actually presented, we can actually see from his presentation and from his talk of his passion. So the passion exudes from Mr. Darwin's presentation. And a point that I would like to highlight to audience from what Darwin has mentioned is the fun aspect. I mean, when we talk about this conventional incubator or accelerator program, we see that the participant will need to invest some sort of commitment in terms of time, in terms of money as well. So I see when Darwin mentioned something that is fun, so I think it is a good opportunity for prospective participant to really evaluate this and give this a thought to participate in the tech planter program. And also Darwin mentioned about getting your research solution validated. So we can take this opportunity in the tech planter program to get the solutions validated with the assistance of Livenes Senior Brand. So I hope I summarize the presentation okay. So maybe to kick off the Q&A session, maybe I will start with a question that I can think of during the presentation. The question is about the expected outcome or deliverables. When we talk about grant, because we are from university, so we are quite accustomed to ministries' regulation, rules and regulation, where, for example, if you talk about the prototype grant, at the end of the program, we are expected to come up with a product, MVP, minimum viable product, or lab scale product, and we are also expected to come up with IP, for example, patent filing or industrial design filing. And for other programs, for example, for incubation programs, some are expecting some sort of creating a company, creating senior berhad, or even some programs expect, if you talk about angel investing, they expect some sort of equity in return. So what kind of, what is the catch here? I mean, if you participate in the tech planter program, we appreciate the connection and the funding that tech planter or Livenes provides. But at the same time, what can we expect in terms of the return part? So just to address maybe some of the concern of the people. I leave it to Dr. Arif or Dr. Suzy.
Yeah.
Okay, Arif.
No. Perhaps I would like to invite Dr. Suzy to address the question. Yeah.
I think Mr. Hakim would like to say something.
Yes, okay. Yeah, very sorry because both of them actually the first time to conduct this tech planter program. Dr. Aziz, you're asking about the return, means for the team.
Meaning that, for example, if we participate in some sort of angel investing, the investor expects some sort of equity in return, kan? Usually.
Okay, yeah.
So what is the whole for the tech planter program? What is expected from the participants?
Okay, correct. So as you mentioned, actually tech planter is like ecosystem, right? So and based on their stages, there are different kind of output that actually be expected. Okay. For example, if they are still researchers, there's possibility to actually create the collaboration between the researchers and also our corporate partners. So that one of the thing that we want to create from here. And of course, if the researchers would like to pursue the entrepreneurship, which means maybe to establish their own company and so on, that will be one of our kind of successful the things that we want to see from this tech planter program, where we can bring this research into the commercialization through the passion of the team, right? And of course, if they already a company, that's where the funding will come in, either from our partners we have the Glocklin Singapore, we have the Retech Holding, and each of them actually invest in different stages and different areas as well. For example, like Glocklin Singapore, they focus more into the food tech area, agri-food tech, all right? And they invest not really big, but up to around 50,000 Singapore dollars and so on. Okay, and they do take some equity in the company, of course. Okay, so based on the, I can say, each of the team stages, their interests, that's why actually Liveness members come in to become the science-based communicator. Try to bring the mutual benefits between the team and also our partners. Okay, so we want both parties to be happy with the negotiation parts. Yeah.
I understand. So, so there's no definite answer lah. There's no
Correct.
one size fits all kind of solution. So
Yeah.
it depends on the stage of the product or solution.
Depend on the stage and also the needs of the team. What actually their interests? Okay.
Okay.
Like some of the cases shared by Suzy-san, including if the team actually need support for the prototyping on machineries. That's why we bring the partners who can support in that term. Okay.
Okay.
For example, the machine that being created for Asset Innovate, that was actually a program that Liveness we have with the local government agency in Japan. So they would like to bring more ASEAN startup to do prototyping in Japan. So we kind of collaborate with the government agency and provide that grant. That's why actually Asset Innovate got that grant and able to create their own machine. Yeah.
Okay. So for that particular example, Encik Hakim, some of the funding comes from government of Japan or the local government of Japan.
Yeah, part of it, 50,000 USD is coming from Japan, and another 50,000 actually coming from Liveness. We also provide support there for that project.
So it depends on the nature of the project lah kan. I mean there are lots of different kinds of project. So I think that answers my question quite clearly. And for the thank you Encik Hakim, and for those who send an entry, I understand that there will be a final session. Will all of the participants be included in the ecosystem, or just the winner, or just the two top winners, or
yeah,
or maybe?
Of course, for the demo day, we can only have 9 finalists because the limitation in terms of time for the judges as well. So 9 finalists will compete during the day, but we also have around 6 additional team that we call as a lightning pitch for them to share also about their project. And for the rest of the applicants, even though you are not selected to go to the finalists or even the lightning pitch, you can also still attend the program for you to learn and also maybe network with the partners that we have during the demo day. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Encik Hakim. So not only those finalists and also winners, we can actually participate and get the support lah. For example, the networking and such.
Correct. And for this year, we're hoping to do physically, inshallah in Cyberjaya lah. So if you can come actually to join the event. But it's not open to others, only the one that the team that participate or registered in the Tech Planter are allowed to join the event. It's kind of closed, but only for the Tech Planter participants.
Okay. Thank you so much. I welcome any question from the audience. If anybody has any question, you can unmute yourself and also can type the question in the chat box. Meanwhile, maybe another question, what is the minimum technology level if you talk about TRL, because some of the commonly used indicator is the TRL level, technology readiness level. What is the minimum TRL level for prospective product or solution or technology that can be considered by the Tech Planter program?
Okay, as we mentioned by Susan as well, we accept from any stage, ideation up to Series A or Series B. So depending on their stages, there might be certain things that maybe they can share or cannot share, right? For example, if they are not really patented yet their technology, so there are minimum information that they can share during the demo day or in the application. Okay, so we respect that. And please also seek the advice from the university or either from maybe your department, right? To understand whether you can submit this project or not. Okay, for us, we don't have any criteria of which level that you can join, but you need to seek the advice from your university whether your project is ready to be exposed to outside or not. Okay.
Understood. It is a very, very important point, but sometimes missed or disregarded by our people. So thank you, Encik Hakim. I welcome a question from the audience.
Okay, maybe just to share additional, I think, Susan, you have announcement on the grant tak lepas ni? Ada tak?
No.
Nak grant. Okay, just to share, right now we having this global grant. Okay, I put in the chat. So this is another opportunity that is currently we are offering to researchers who might have the research that actually solving the global challenges, units of the global challenges. So because we are celebrating our 20th anniversary this year, so we are announcing this LNES Global Grant to award passionate researchers that try to solve the global challenges. So you can apply to this on top of the tap planter as well. Yeah. Crowd, personal, industry, or university. Yes, even you are a sole founder of company, for example, you can apply. It doesn't need you need to be affiliated with university. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. Right.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Mr. Wan, Dr. Wan. Maybe one question that I have, if we have a technology or solution that is not so much commercially viable, is it suitable for tech planter program?
Not so much commercial viable. Meaning to say that it's more like social science or
maybe something that is very, very far from commercialization, or in terms of CSR, maybe inclined a little bit more like a CSR kind of project. Is it suitable for tech planter?
All right. Actually, in the tap planter is two things that we most important part beside the patient. We want to understand the core issues, the deep issues that you are trying to solve. Okay. And in the second one is the technology, the core technology. How you want to solve that issue. As we mentioned, it's not really, you don't need to have like very sophisticated technology. As long as the technology can be unique and also solving the issues, I think you have the opportunity to present that in tap planter. Okay. And the issues also, we want to know really deep issues. So you need to dig down really what actually you try to solve. For example, sometimes they only talk about we are solving the agriculture waste, for example, but they actually go deeper. There are deeper problem that actually the industry is facing. So we want to know that. Yeah. So you need to highlight that in your application.
The deep issue,
Yes.
and also the core technology. Okay.
Yeah, as long as your project is tackling these two, you have the technology and also you solve the deep issues, I think, yeah, it's good to.
Okay, so meaning that even if the participant or potential participant does not have any particular business plan, you can actually go forward in this particular program.
Correct. We understand that researchers might not have the business plan yet. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know, Encik Hakim. One question from our attendees is there any charges fee involved during the
no,
validation?
Pay any money to us for now.
There's no fee,
No fee.
Okay.
Yeah, no fee to join the program.
No fee, but
even when they invite you to join HIC later on, for you maybe to present your project, usually we actually put fee for the participant. Usually, yeah.
Meaning that we have to pay our own transport lah. That's all.
Transport lah. That's what we are not covering.
Okay. So I hope it answers the question. There's no fee involved for the sessions. You have to come to the location on your own. But make sure that like Encik Hakim has mentioned previously, make sure that your technology is ready to be publicized lah. So in terms of the protection of the intellectual property rights and everything. So please check with your with our office lah at ICC, we can give advice in terms of that. So any other questions from the participant? Okay, just one question. By participating in Tech Planter, it doesn't limit to other government kind of support kan for entrepreneurship like Cradle or Meranti and whatnot.
That's a good question. Okay, for us, we don't have any restriction for you to apply to any. Actually, we encourage that because for Tech Planter, we are partnering with those agencies, MTDC, CRES, Cradle, and so on. They are our partners for Tech Planter. So we encourage this kind of, from Tech Planter go to Cradle or go to the MTDC and vice versa.
Okay, so there have been cases before this where
Yes.
your alumni,
like for example, the grand winner, the IRADA, right? IRADA, they are from MTDC ecosystem, so they joined Tech Planter after they received the grant from MTDC, and then they become the grand winner and receiving the fund from Retech Holding, and come back to the MTDC, receive another fund from there.
Okay, so quite flexible in terms of that kan. Okay, thank you so much. So any other questions from audience? I think we have a good number, but of course we have this on recording, so we sharing this with the university community after this.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, is there any age limit for the application, Dr. Audrey?
Age limit, so far we don't put any age limit, but of course, usually our participants coming from the university stage, not the school stage. Yeah.
Okay, so no age limit, Dr. Audrey, as long as you can show the passion lah.
Yeah, we have very senior researcher, like we have Prof Manan from UPM or
UPM, yeah.
UPM, Prof Manan. He already retired from the academician and he's starting his own company. I think he's around 60 plus. And he's still active in our program. He just joined our Career Discovery Forum last week. And he went to Japan as well to meet some of the partners. Yeah. Okay. So you can see age is not the limit here.
Okay. It's good to know. The example that you quoted, the trip was sponsored or not sponsored?
That one was sponsored.
Sponsored by Livenes.
They won one of the corporate award, and then the corporate actually want them to come to Japan, so they sponsored the team.
Okay.
So the one of the important thing I would like to highlight here in Tech Planter is we bring all these partners, right? The corporate partners from Japan or either from Malaysia. They will select the team that they would like to work with. So once you receive the award from them, there's opportunity for you to explore further the collaboration with them. And then that's where they will arrange for the meeting. We actually support to arrange for the meeting with the corporates. And that's where you have opportunity to maybe meet with their top management in Japan. So they will bring you to there. That's what happened with Prof Manan, I can say the case.
Okay. Okay, that's very clear and very good, Encik Hakim. So any other questions from the audience?
Yeah, I think to add that additional is that so winning Tech Planter is not the main thing I can say for here. Of course, if you get the grand winning, you will be highlighted. But we would like you to become our ecosystem community, the Tech Planter community, because we would like to know about your project, what you are doing, and we as the science-based communicator, we try to find the opportunity either in the industry or the government where we can link all this support, potential support, funding, and so on to you. Okay, so that's our role in this ecosystem.
I think for me it's quite clear, Encik Hakim. You are doing good work, and we are quite eager. I'm very eager to publicize this further, the Tech Planter program for the Utension community. I think this session answered some of my questions that I had before this. So I will be pushing this quite actively in the Utension community, inshallah. I hope there will be takers in the near future. So okay. So any last question from the audience? So if there's no, so I thank. Okay. So that is all. Sorry, I forgot to Mr. Darwin as well. So I mean, Darwin has explained quite a bit on his experience. I think and still quite actively engaged with the tech planter ecosystem lah. And just to ask Mr. Darwin, how many times actually a year that you participate in the makan-makan or minum with the tech planter?
I think a year we have almost like what four session of meet up, right, Hakim?
Yes.
Then of course personally, like we have some side project as well with Live Nest Malaysia. So we got quite a lot of interaction. But of course during the MCO it's a bit down lah. I
Yeah,
think
okay.
almost every year punya HIC I will be there. Just to visit and see what's news, you know, what are the things that we can benefit. Even I bring out, I think a few of young startup from different university, right, to even bring them to Singapore to join the tech planter there as well. So we do assist lah. We do assist some of the young and talented that we see. Sometimes the university not able to support them. So we see that the potential is there. Then I would just ask that, Hakim, can we bring these people to other nation punya tech planter or not? You know. So yeah, quite fun. Quite
Yeah. Okay, you highlighted the fun part. So I'll be probably after this I will get your number, Darwin, and I will ask you to come again. Invite you to come again to UTHM and maybe give more inspiring talks lah. And also sometimes the connection is made in this informal session, so not necessarily the formal pitching and whatnot. So I think it's important for us to just go for it and try to get the idea validated and see what happens. So I think Darwin has been an inspiration lah. So I think with that, any last word from Encik Hakim, Dr. Suzy, Dr. Arif, and Darwin before we close?
Yeah, of course, I think we have a lot of people here today. So we look forward for your application and participation. And let's keep in touch, I think. If you have anything that you might require some help, always happy to reach us. So maybe we can come up with something. Because we are not just running an event, we create different kind of unique project where we can find mutual benefits, not only for our side, but also to the community and industry. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Encik Hakim. And before I end, just a little bit of housekeeping for participants from UTHM. Don't forget to fill in the attendance form, and also we have a form from from Live Nest Malaysia as well, feedback form for today's session. So I appreciate if everybody can fill up the form for the feedback. And inshallah, a starting point for future collaboration. I don't see this as the ending. And anybody from UTHM would like to have more information about Live Nest and their program, most welcome to contact us at ICC. So I think with that, thank you again, Encik Hakim, Dr. Suzy, Dr. Arif, and also Darwin, and our guests from Live Nest Malaysia. Hopefully, we will have the takers from UTHM and from local universities. And hopefully this is a start of more future collaboration lah. So I think that is all for today. I think a very fruitful session, and see you guys in the next discussion. Thank you so much for coming. Assalamualaikum.
Bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Aziz.
Selamat berpuasa.
Selamat puasa.
Ramadan.